Welcome, everyone. We are live, and it is Tuesday. Ooh, good morning, Jeff. Good morning. Welcome to the space. This morning, we are talking about baby steps. I was talking to someone on Sunday, and they said those words to me. And then I was talking to someone yesterday, and they also said baby steps. I said, we're talking about baby steps because people take baby steps for granted. Baby steps. Think about what happens when babies take steps. They're learning to walk and they become more secure in their actions of walking. They become more confident. That's what baby steps do. Baby steps don't mean, you don't know what you're doing. That's not what baby steps mean. When we take baby steps, you see, we take those for granted. Imagine, if you will, a baby taking steps. And within a couple of weeks' time, that poor mother can't even catch the child. Why? Because they've become so confident and so sure of themselves that they run. Oh, yes. And there's nothing faster than a small child, and you're trying to catch them when they've got something that they shouldn't have. So baby steps are nothing to turn your nose up at. Baby steps don't mean that you're taking a long time or that you're doing it wrong. That's not what it means. Baby steps are you and I practicing what we know so that we become more secure in it. That is baby steps. As with everything, you start a new job, you're in training. Those are baby steps because you are learning something new. Ponder that for a moment. You see, sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. We judge ourselves so viciously. When in actuality, compassion, graciousness with one's self is important. It truly is. And so, one of the other ways that I had been speaking about baby steps, sometimes I tend to procrastinate. Oh, yes, I do. I really do. And then you begin to recognize what you're doing. The baby step out of the situation, the first step is to recognize what you're doing. Recognize what you are doing when you're doing it. So that the baby step, the first step out is, oh, I'm doing that. That's what it is. Sometimes when we feel overwhelmed, we don't act. We feel heavy, we feel burdened. But the first step out of that is to recognize it when you feel it. You see, there's always a step, there's always a movement. Principle of vibration tells us that nothing stands still, everything moves. So obviously, we take a baby step in the direction we want to go in. You see, sometimes we take baby steps going in the other direction, worrying about, oh no, what have I done? Am I stuck forever? Am I ever going to change? See what we do? We're always taking baby steps in a direction. The question now becomes, which direction are you moving in? Towards your freedom or sustaining your captivity? Which one? How can you tell the difference? Well, when you're moving towards your freedom, you are now putting your mind upon the things and the people, pardon me, that you want to. You're not just thinking according to the mood. Remember, it is the mood that you are in that will dictate your thoughts and the steps that you take. I will say it again. It is the mood or mental attitude that you are in that will determine your thoughts and the steps you take. At all times. There aren't any exceptions to that. Like, not a single exception. There's no leniency when it comes to that. It is the mood that will dictate what you do. Think about your mood of hunger. What kind of hunger is it? How intense is the hunger? Well, you will act accordingly. See, this is why scripture can say, those who hunger and thirst for righteousness. What is righteousness? Right thinking. Right consciousness. See, it has nothing to do with being holier than thou at all. So your baby steps, you do not take those for granted. You celebrate them. Well, don't we celebrate the baby when it starts to walk? We're like, oh, you can do it, you can do it, come on, you can do it. We cheer them on. And when we take baby steps in the direction that we want to go in, why are you taking so long? You should know better. Look at you. Everybody else in your age group, they're ahead of you. What, you don't think that you deserve that same cheer? And remember, it has nothing to do with being deservedness of it all. It has nothing to do with the deservedness. Nothing at all. Oh, wait, so the baby deserves to walk? Hello? It is a natural progression. Walking is a natural progression, not a deservedness. Put it in its place. That's what I mean when I say we judge ourselves so harshly. When you take baby steps, it means first you have become aware, deliberately, of what you are doing and who you say you are. The next step, then, is to ask yourself, is this where I want to be? Is this the type of life or existence that I want to have? See, that's another step. The other step is when you make the decision, yes, this is what I want for my life. Well, then continue doing more of the same. But if you say, no, this is not what I want for my life, then you select another mental attitude. You see, someone asked me, Angela, how can it possibly be that simple? And I said, I don't know how it can be that simple, but I'm grateful that it is. Because that mental mood, that mental attitude is the driving force of our lives. It is what causes us to move to step. That's what it does. And I know sometimes people don't believe me. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm asking you to observe yourself, and you will see your mood. And then someone asked me a brilliant question. They said, but when I see the mood, isn't it because you put it there? By giving me a suggestion? I thought that was kind of cool when they asked me that question. I said the only reason why you think I put it there by giving you a suggestion is because you're watching yourself and you're seeing your own mood. It's quite like if I say to you, I just love a Mercedes, and now you're going to go down the street and you're going to see Mercedes. You'll just start seeing them and you'll go, oh, Angela likes Mercedes. Do you know what happened there? As within, so without. As within, so without. I just simply made you aware of Mercedes. And so every morning I get up, I say these things to you to make you aware of who? Your own self. Just be aware of yourself. That is the most important thing. That is the foundation. The principle of mentalism. The all is mind. The universe is a mental creation. That is the most important thing, is to know yourself. Because once you know yourself, that which you know you will do. Baby steps. Because for some, that is very challenging to hear. But it's not meant to, what's the word? It's not meant to challenge you in a quote unquote negative way. It is meant for you to look at yourself with a non-judgmental eye. And of course, I will always tell you the story because when I say baby steps, I also think about the stage that Popcorn is at right now. He's a teenager right now, 3 months old. That is their teenage years. And this is when they begin to find their voices. Now, they've made noise their whole lives. They have made noises their whole lives. They've listened to their mother make noises. And Lady has a noise that she makes, and every time she makes it, Popcorn runs for cover. Every single time. It's quite interesting to see. But now he is discovering that he has a voice. He's always had it. But he is discovering that it is his. And he's discovering deliberately how to use it. Because again, they've always communicated with their voices. Like you and I. We learn to speak. And we hear our voices. But then we become aware of the voice. And when you become aware of it, you start to do something with it. You do. And it is what you do with that voice now that you become aware of. Are you sure of yourself when you use it? Again, we go back. Now, this is a little bit when he was the same age as Popcorn, because that's when I got him. And the first time he crowed, it was the cutest sound ever. Because he was hearing himself. And then he did what? He did it again. He did it again. Another baby step, until he became sure of his own voice, sure of his own sound. That when he took a stance and he inhaled and he let that sound out, he knew whose voice it was. But it took him those baby steps. Now look at where those baby steps originated from. They originated from who he was. They originated from who he was. You see, he was a rooster. Thus, he crowed. Cause and effect. Cause and effect. So, that baby step that you are considering taking, perhaps you're afraid of taking it, perhaps you're unsure of taking it. that step is coming from you because of who you say you are. So the step that you take will match who you say you are. If you're a little bit unsure, then the step will be unsteady. If you are bold and confident, then so will the step be. You see how it always happens that way, as within, so without. So baby steps are nothing to turn one's nose up at. The baby step is showing you what you are, because you can only step according to who and what you say you are, as within, so without. So the more that you step, the more that you practice, the more confident you become. And the more confident you come, the bolder the step. You're not teetering and tottering anymore and wavering and, trying to steady yourself. No, that's not what you're doing anymore. The more that you practice, the more confident you become. So confidence then happens as a result of. Confidence does not emerge on its own. It happens as an effect. Your level of confidence that you exude is dependent upon the level of confidence you feel within yourself. As within, so without. I will always remember when they were talking to Blue Ivy, and she said they made her friends made, not her friends, but some people made fun of her and her dancing. And she says, well, I wasn't very confident. So I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. Baby steps, every single step that she took in rehearsal made her bold so that she could get on that stage and dance. Regardless of what people's opinions were of her. She knew she put in the work. She knew she practiced. She knew she stepped day in and day out. So you see, if you watch the trajectory, not that I do it, but I saw the video of her and it would show you when she first started, and you could see the hesitation sometimes. You could see the uncertainty in herself. But the more she practiced, you saw how certain she became, how bold she became. And so your confidence, your boldness, your inner strength, it gets stronger the more you practice. So it doesn't matter what you practice, you're going to become bold in it. This is why it's important that you choose what you practice. So if you are practicing, what are you practicing? Paying attention to your mental mood. Checking yourself. You're like, you know what? I don't like that aspect of my life. And I know it's just a habit. How do I make a habit? By practicing something over and over and over again. That's how I make a habit. Okay, so what behavior am I going to practice? And you start to see it in your mind's eye. Just like dancers, just like painters, just like teachers, they begin to see the curriculum in their mind's eye. They begin to see the steps in their mind's eye. And then what do they do in their mind's eye? They rehearse, they practice over and over and over and over and over inside until you become so full of it that it spills forth from you.